Hello students, welcome to Well Explained Pedia. Today I am here with class 10th biology chapter life processes. Here in this section I am going to discuss about the introduction, that is what is nutrition and nutrition in plants. Now first of all student, what is the criteria to decide whether a thing is living or not? I hope you all have studied about living and non-living things and what are their characteristics in your previous classes. So this is just for a revision. The most important criteria to decide whether something is alive is the movement, and that movement should also be on its own. That is, all living things move without the help of any external help. Some movements are easily visible, like the movement of the body parts. Some movements are not easily visible, like molecular movements. The molecular movements in cells and tissues is necessary for all life processes. Because of these molecular movements only, the biochemical reactions which are taking inside our body takes place. Okay. Now, what is a life process? As the name is suggesting, life process, the processes which are essential for an individual to be alive, means जो जिंदा रहने के लिए जरूरी हो वो processes life processes होते हैं. That is, they are the basic processes in living organisms which are necessary for maintaining their life. The basic life processes are nutrition, respiration, transportation and excretion. Means there are certain other life processes are also there, such as reproduction, but it is not necessary for the life or the survival of an individual. It is also necessary, that we are going to study in detail in the next chapter, but it is only responsible for the continuation of generation. If reproduction doesn't occur within an individual, he or she will not die. मरेंगे नहीं वो. तो जो processes ऐसे हैं जिनके न होने से हम मर जाएं या जिंदा न रह पाएं, they are known as life processes. There are main 4 life processes, basic life processes. Nutrition, it is the process of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body for life processes. Number 2 is the respiration. It is the process by which food is burnt in the cells of the body with the help of oxygen to release energy, and this is the energy which we use for do various works, external as well as internal works. Next is transportation. It is the process by which food, oxygen, water, waste products are carried from one part of the body to the other. And the last one is the excretion. It is the process by which waste products are removed from the body. So these are the 4 life processes, means which are very must for an individual to survive. You can see this is the digestive system, respiratory, circulatory and excretory system. Now coming to nutrition, as we are going to study in this section about the nutrition, so what is nutrition? The process by which living organisms obtain nutrients for their growth and development is known as nutrition. Now, nutrition is the process of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body to build the body, for growth, to repair of the damaged parts of the body, and for energy. These all are the, what are the functions of food we have studied in earlier class. It is food that we take in and utilize it. Okay, for building our body, for growth of our body, for the repairing of the damaged parts, and for getting the energy for do different works. Now, life on earth depends on carbon based molecules, and most of the food are also carbon based molecules. The outside raw materials used by living organisms are food, water and air. Now, what are the mode of nutrition? You must have studied in your 7th class. There are two main mode of nutrition. They are the autotrophic nutrition and the heterotrophic nutrition. In autotrophic nutrition, it is the nutrition in which organisms prepare their own food from simple inorganic substances like carbon dioxide and water. These are the raw materials which are used for the autotrophic nutrition, carbon dioxide and water. But along with these two raw materials, presence of sunlight and chlorophyll is must. If any of these two is not present, the food will not be prepared. And this autotrophic nutrition is mainly done by all the green plants and some bacteria. Okay. Now, second is the heterotrophic nutrition. It is the nutrition in which organisms get their food directly or indirectly from plants. In this category, all the animals, fungi that are the non-green plants and some bacteria comes. Now, types of heterotrophic nutrition. There are three main types of heterotrophic nutrition. They are the saprophytic, parasitic and holozoic nutrition. Now coming to saprophytic nutrition, as you have already studied, it is nutrition in which organisms get their food from dead and decaying organisms. They break down the food material outside their body and then absorb it. And examples of saprophytes are mushroom, bread mold, yeast and some bacteria. Now second is parasitic nutrition. As the name is suggesting, parasite means in which the organism get their food from living organism. In saprophytic, they were getting the food from the dead and decaying organism, whereas in parasitic nutrition, they are getting their food from the living organism. And the living organism from which they are getting the food is known as host. And they don't kill the living organism. It is without killing them. Example, cuscuta, orchids, ticks, lice, leeches, roundworm, tapeworm, plasmodium, etc. And the third type of nutrition, which is followed by all the animals, higher animals including human beings, is holozoic nutrition. It is nutrition in which organisms take the food directly, means solid food takes and then digest and absorbs it. Examples are amoeba, paramecium, birds, fishes, humans, etc. So these are example of saprophytes, parasite, and this is an amoeba, holozoic mode of nutrition. Now in this section, in this part of the lecture, we are going to discuss about the nutrition in plants. That means we are going to discuss about the photosynthesis, process of photosynthesis, what are the raw materials required for photosynthesis, from where do the plants get these raw materials, and how this photosynthesis takes place. So what is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is made up of two words, photo plus synthesis. Photo means in the presence of light and synthesis means to put together. It is the process by which plants prepare food by using carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. The food prepared is carbohydrate which is stored in the form of starch and oxygen is released in this process. Okay. So, carbon dioxide and water are the raw materials. From where do the plants will get these two raw materials? Carbon dioxide they get from the air through stomata, which are the pores which are present on the underside of the leaves, and water the plants they get from the soil. Their roots absorb water and minerals, and all these things they are taken together to the cells of the plants for the site where the food has to be synthesized. And the site for the photosynthesis, or you can say the synthesis of this food, is chloroplast. Now sunlight they get from the sun, that is photosynthesis takes place during the daytime, and the chlorophyll is present in the chloroplast. The green pigment which is present in the chloroplast is known as chlorophyll. So these are the things, and from where do they get? Okay, now this is the equation of photosynthesis. carbon dioxide plus water, that is 6 molecules of carbon dioxide and 12 molecules of water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Sunlight and chlorophyll, they don't take part in the reaction, but their presence is very, very necessary. So they form this glucose, 6 molecules of water and 6 molecules of oxygen. Now the process of photosynthesis, what are the main steps? They are absorption of light energy by chlorophyll. The very first step is chlorophyll absorbs the sunlight and convert it into chemical energy, and after that, when once this light energy gets converted into chemical energy, the water molecules splits into hydrogen and oxygen. Got it? The very first step is the absorption of light energy by the chlorophyll. Second step, this light energy gets converted into chemical energy and water molecule gets split into hydrogen and oxygen. And the third step is reduction of carbon dioxide by hydrogen to form carbohydrate, that is glucose. Okay, the food is formed in the form of glucose, but it gets stored in the form of starch. You can see the sunlight is falling on these leaves. Leaves are the food factories or the kitchen of the plant. Why? Because they are green in color due to the presence of green pigment chlorophyll. Okay. Now water enters from the roots. Carbon dioxide enters from the stomata. And this photosynthesis takes place. What is released? Oxygen. And what is formed? Glucose is formed. Now, chlorophyll are the green pigments which are present in the leaves. If you observe a cross section of a leaf under a microscope, we can see cells containing green dot-like structures called as chloroplast, which contain chlorophyll. You can see this is a section of leaf. Okay, and you can see these are the stomatal pores, which allow the gaseous exchange, that is carbon dioxide to enter a leaf and water vapor to leave the leaf, and the oxygen also leaves the leaf. These are the mesophyll cells, and these dot-like structures that you are seeing, these all are chlorophyll. Okay, this is a chloroplast containing stacks of these are thylakoids. These stacks are known as thylakoids. They are embedded in stroma. Okay. Now, stomata are tiny pores which are present in the leaves through which exchange of gases takes place. Each stoma has a pair of guard cells. You can see two guard cells are there. Each stoma is having, in this figure also you can see these bulging, they are the guard cells. What are these? Guard cells. And these guard cells controls the opening and closing of the stomatal pore. When water enters the guard cells, it swells and the pore opens, and when the guard cells lose water, it shrinks and the pore closes. The water diffuses into guard cells, which causes them to open. On hot dry days, the guard cells have lost water, they lose water, they relax and the stomata closes. Now there are a few experiments that we have to study which are related to the process of photosynthesis. Now what experiments we have to study are: number one, to show that chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis. Number two, light is necessary for photosynthesis. Number three, carbon dioxide is necessary for photosynthesis, and number four, that oxygen is produced during photosynthesis. So all these four experiments we have to study, and this is the equation of photosynthesis: 6CO2 plus 6H2O in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll forms C6H12O6 plus 6O2 plus water is also formed. Now leaves used in these experiments. Before doing these experiments, before learning these experiments, we should know some points, that the leaves used in these experiments must not contain starch at the start. Why? अगर पहले से ही स्टार्च होगा उसमें तो हमें कैसे पता चलेगा फोटोसिंथेसिस हुआ है या नहीं है. And this is must for only these three experiments, that is to prove chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis, light is necessary for photosynthesis, and carbon dioxide is necessary for photosynthesis, not for the production of oxygen, the fourth one. Okay, इन तीनों के लिए हमें जरूरी है कि एक्सपेरिमेंट शुरू करने से पहले हमारे जो प्लांट हम लेंगे उसके लिए उसमें स्टार्च नहीं होना चाहिए. Why? So that one can tell whether it has formed during the experiment. And for conducting all these three experiments, these two things are must. First is the de-starching of the plant, and the second is the testing a leaf for starch. On all these three experiments, we have to perform these two experiments. Now, what is a de-starched plant? De-starched means a plant without starch. You can see in the cells the starch is present, and these are empty cells. No starch is present. You can see, okay, the cell wall, and these blue, black are the starch grains. Now, how a plant is de-starched? अब कैसे करते हैं de-starched? So by leaving it in the dark for 2 to 3 days, we can say, or 48 to 72 hours. Now, what happens to the starch in the dark? अब हमने plant को dark में रख दिया for 2 to 3 days. क्या होगा? वो जो starch है, that is utilized for respiration. तो सारा starch जो है जब use हो जाएगा, then after 2 to 3 days, we can take the plant and use it for our experiments. Okay. Now, how can we tell whether photosynthesis has occurred or not? By doing this iodine test. Okay. By testing for starch using iodine. तो iodine जो है वो starch में blue black color देती है. अगर आप इन दो leaves को देखें तो this is yellow and this is blue, dark blue or blue black color. तो if the leaf remains yellow, that means it has no starch. But if it turns to blue black, then it has starch. This shows the presence of starch, and presence of starch shows that photosynthesis has taken place. Now, can we test a leaf for starch by pouring iodine solution directly on the leaf? No. Why? Because iodine solution will run off the leaf due to the waxy cuticle. जो waxy cuticle अगर हम iodine उस पर डालेंगे तो it will run off. Okay, it will not react with the starch which is present inside the leaf. Now, these are the 4 steps which are used for testing a leaf for starch. सबसे पहले हम क्या करेंगे? We will dip the leaf in boiling water for 30 seconds. Okay. Then we will boil leaf in alcohol. You can see हमने एक test tube के अंदर leaf रखी है जिसमें alcohol है और water is in the beaker. This is known as a water bath. This is known as a water bath. We do not boil the leaf in alcohol directly on the flame. Why? Because if we'll directly heat it on a flame, the alcohol is highly inflammable and it will catch fire. Okay. Then after boiling leaf in alcohol, we'll dip the leaf in boiling water again, or we can wash it, simply wash it with hot water so that whatever alcohol is on the leaf, it gets washed off. And after that, we'll spread the leaf on a white tile, and after spreading it, we'll put iodine solution on the leaf and we'll observe the color change. Okay. What happens by boiling the leaf in alcohol? It removes chlorophyll. Okay. And why is a white tile used? White tile is used so that the color changes are seen better. Okay. They are seen better on white background. Now, the first experiment is chlorophyll is needed for photosynthesis. So, first of all, we will take a plant with variegated leaf. Variegated leaf means you can see the leaf is green and at some areas it is colorless, white or yellowish. Okay, we'll leave the plant in sunlight for 2 to 3 hours and then draw the outline of the leaf. Now, leaf is tested for starch using those 4 steps which were explained previously. जो भी हमने 4 steps ये किए थे, Dip the leaf in boiling water for 30 seconds, then boil in alcohol, wash it with water and put the iodine on the leaf. तो ये हम steps perform करेंगे. This is a control leaf, white parts of leaf with no chlorophyll and the green parts of the leaf with chlorophyll. Okay, when we'll put the iodine, we'll see the white parts were yellow, that is no starch, and the green parts they were blue black, that means they have starch. And this proves that chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis. In this leaf you can also see these are the white parts without chlorophyll. This part is having chlorophyll, and when they were tested for starch, that is iodine test for starch, you can see this yellow portion saying no starch and blue black portion saying starch is present. That means photosynthesis has taken place in these green parts, which shows that chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis. Now our second experiment is light needed for photosynthesis? For this, first of all, we have to de-starch the plant by keeping it in dark for 2 to 3 days. 2 to 3 days हम क्या करेंगे, इसको dark में रखेंगे. Then we'll place a black paper on one of the leaves like this. Okay, with the help of a clip, we'll put a black paper on this. Then plant is left in sunlight for 2 to 3 hours. Then leaf is tested for starch using those 4 steps which were explained previously. वो तो हमें हमेशा हर बारी करने हैं, हर experiment के बाद we have to prove, do that iodine test for starch. We'll see the result and conclusion that the portion which was covered by the black paper, that is yellow, no starch is there, whereas the portion which was exposed to sunlight was blue black, that means it has starch. Photosynthesis has taken place in this, and this concludes that light is needed for photosynthesis. Now next is carbon dioxide needed for photosynthesis? Then what we have to do, we have to take now 2 plants which are de-starched. Okay, then de-starched means they are kept in dark for 2 to 3 days. Then we'll take out the plants. The plants are watered and set up as shown. As shown means in A we will put a polythene bag, and in a bowl we will put soda lime, and then in B we will pack it with polythene bag, and in a bowl we will keep sodium hydrogen carbonate solution. Then the plants are left in sunlight for 2 to 3 hours, and a leaf from each plant is tested for starch after 2 to 3 hours. And test for starch is the same. We will boil the leaf in water, then in alcohol, wash it with water, put it on a white tile, and with the help of a dropper put iodine on that. Now what is the function of soda lime and sodium hydrogen carbonate? Soda lime functions, मतलब soda lime का क्या function है? It absorbs carbon dioxide. So whatever carbon dioxide is present inside the polythene, it is absorbed by this carbon dioxide. In place of soda lime, we can also mean sodium hydroxide. We can also take potassium hydroxide, and sodium hydrogen carbonate. It releases carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is present inside this polythene bag. So what was the result and conclusion? Where there was no carbon dioxide, that is in the leaf from the plant where the soda lime was kept, the leaf was yellow, showing that is no starch, no photosynthesis has taken place. And when the leaf from the plant with sodium hydrogen carbonate was tested for starch, you can see the blue black color, that means the presence of starch is there, which shows that carbon dioxide is necessary for photo. I hope you all understood the nutrition in plants, the process of photosynthesis. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. If you have not subscribed my channel yet, please subscribe it and press the bell icon so that whenever a new video is uploaded, you will get notifications. Thank you. God bless you all.